The most dangerous career advice you have ever received is just be yourself. This counterintuitive insight has transformed how millions approach success. And in the next 15 minutes, you will discover why strategic self-presentation is not being fake. It is how genuine leaders are made. Here is a question that haunts ambitious professionals everywhere. Why do some incredibly talented people plateau, while others with seemingly less natural ability keep rising? The answer lies in a psychological trap that ensnares the best of us. We call it the authenticity trap. You see, somewhere along the way, we were taught that success means staying true to who we are. But what if your idea of who you are is actually too small? What if the very concept keeping you grounded is the same one keeping you stuck? The research behind this paradox reveals something fascinating. The highest performing leaders share one unexpected trait. They are not rigidly authentic. They are strategically adaptive. And that distinction changes everything. To understand this paradox, we need to examine what authenticity actually means. Most people define it as consistency, being the same person in every situation. But think about that for a moment. Is that even possible? Are you truly the same person when you are comforting a grieving friend as when you are negotiating a contract? The answer is no. And here is where it gets fascinating. Psychologists have discovered that we all have multiple authentic selves, not fake versions, but genuine aspects of our personality that emerge in different contexts. The problem is not in authenticity. The problem is having too narrow a definition of who you really are. If this is already shifting your perspective, drop a like, so I know to keep going. The most successful professionals understand something crucial. Your potential self is just as authentic as your current self. But let me put this in a different perspective for you. Consider the greatest leaders throughout history. Abraham Lincoln was known for adapting his communication style dramatically depending on his audience. He could speak with folksy wisdom to farmers and with sophisticated rhetoric to scholars. Was he being fake? Not at all. He was accessing different genuine parts of himself to connect and lead effectively. The same pattern appears in modern research. A landmark study tracking executives over 15 years found that those who rose to the top shared one common trait. They possessed what researchers call high self-monitoring. This does not mean they were manipulative or inauthentic. It means they were keenly aware of social contexts and adjusted accordingly. Think of it like a musician who can play multiple instruments versus one who masters only the piano. Both are authentic musicians, but one has greater range. Now here is where this gets practical and personal. Many of us resist adapting because we fear becoming chameleons who lose themselves entirely. And that fear is valid. There is a dark side to excessive self-monitoring where people become so focused on impression management that they lose touch with their core values. But the solution is not rigid authenticity. The solution is what we might call principled flexibility. Your values remain constant. Your expression of those values adapts to context. Imagine a teacher who deeply values education. In a classroom of struggling students, she might be nurturing and patient. With gifted students, she might be challenging and demanding. Different approaches, same authentic commitment to helping students learn. The question you should be asking yourself is not, am I being myself? The question is, which version of myself does this situation require? But here is where everything I have told you so far gets turned on its head. The most counterintuitive finding in this research is that strategic self-presentation actually leads to greater authenticity over time, not less. How is this possible? When you experiment with new behaviors and they succeed, something remarkable happens. Those behaviors become integrated into your genuine identity. You literally expand who you authentically are. Think about learning any new skill. At first, speaking confidently in public might feel fake. But with practice, it becomes genuinely you. The researchers call this the outsight principle, acting into new ways of thinking rather than thinking your way into new ways of acting. If you want to see how this transforms careers, make sure you are subscribed. Because this next insight is where the rubber meets the road. Let me share 3 specific techniques that high performers use to develop this adaptive authenticity. First, they practice cognitive reframing. Instead of thinking I am pretending to be confident, they think I am practicing being the confident person I am becoming. This subtle shift eliminates the feeling of fakeness because you are not pretending. You are rehearsing your future self. Second, they separate their core identity from their current capabilities. Your values define you. Your current skill set does not. You can acquire new skills without compromising who you are. Third, and this is crucial, they seek discomfort deliberately. They take on roles and challenges that force them to develop new aspects of themselves. Not because they enjoy discomfort, but because they understand growth requires it. Drop your prediction in the comments. Which of these 3 techniques do you think matters most for success? Now here is the insight that ties everything together. The authenticity paradox is resolved when you understand that your true self is not a fixed point. It is a range, a spectrum of genuine expressions that can expand throughout your life. The advice to just be yourself assumes you already know who you are completely. But identity is not discovered. It is created through action and experience. The most successful people do not find themselves. They make themselves through deliberate experimentation and reflection. This is why being yourself can be terrible career advice. It encourages you to limit yourself to what you already know about yourself. But strategic self-presentation, done with integrity and awareness, opens doors to becoming more of who you could be. Not fake versions. Expanded, authentic versions. The question was never about being yourself or being strategic. The question is, which self are you choosing to become? So where does this leave you practically? Start by identifying situations where you feel limited by your current self-concept. Notice when you say that it's just not me about behaviors that could actually serve you well. These are your growth edges. Next, experiment. Try small adaptations in low-stakes situations. Notice what feels genuinely uncomfortable versus what feels morally compromising. The first is growth. The second is a boundary to respect. Finally, reflect and integrate. When new behaviors lead to positive outcomes, consciously claim them as part of your authentic self. Do not dismiss them as acting. They are you expanded. Remember, the goal is not to become someone you are not. The goal is to become more of who you already have the potential